Look, man, South Park is wild for this one, man. What up, y'all? It's Wayne back with another vid, man. Today we talking about South Park, man. They just went off the walls with this episode. South Park made it somebody so hard, man. This is the most trolling they've ever done. And let's start from the beginning, man. They made fun of Donald J. Trump, and our U.S. president, man. They made fun of him, man, and it was bad. It started off, man. Paramount, the company that owns South Park, tried to merge with Skydance to make more money, capitalist stuff. But Stephen Colbert was never too fond of Trump. He openly said it on his show that he don't like Trump. He don't support him. He don't like his ideals and none of that. And this is not good for business because Paramount merger is stopped by Trump because Trump is petty. He controls the FCC, so he stopped the merger. And Paramount trying to get the merger out the way, trying to get this stuff going. They just outright paid Trump $16 million to get the deal done. And it's like, wow, it's like a shady deal. Like, come on now, no. And they canceled, conveniently, Colbert's show. They canceled my man's late night show. They said his show was losing money, but it was the number one late night show. But I digress. So, the merger is set to happen now, and Matt and Trey was not too fond of this, and it was making a lot of South Park production, very slow and not up to par because they was sitting on their hands waiting on the merger that was happening, but it wasn't happening at the same time. It was just a lot of mess, and South Park waited, and South Park was getting a lot of praise for their right-wing type of jokes, but people don't understand that South Park is satire. South Park is parodying whatever is the opposite side. They're just opposites. Like, if the world was more progressive, then they would be right. But since the world is very, very right now, then they're going left. And they showed it in this episode. This episode really shows it. And I actually applaud them for doing this episode because it shows that they have balls, man. They're not scared of repercussions, man. Matt and Trey, they're gonna do what they want to do. And this move has really no repercussions for Matt and Trey because they really don't like being on the network to begin with. Let's keep it a buck. They do very short seasons. They make a movie once in a while, and the show hasn't really been the same. So, I don't think that they're gonna flip out if they get pulled. And plus, they just paid $1.2 billion for South Park to stay on Paramount. So it's like, man, you gonna sue? What you gonna do? If Trump sues, then what will Paramount do to South Park? Nothing. They'll just get taken off the air. And Matt and Trey, they're billionaires off the show already, so I don't think that's really gonna affect them that much. And this really goes to show that free speech, come on, bro, you should be able to talk about anybody and everybody, not in a derogatory way or a way that offends with slurs and stuff, but in a critiquable way. You should be able to critique people. And I feel like Paramount made it so where that they just gave South Park a layup because you took Colbert off air for critiquing Trump. That's crazy that you bowed down to the government for some money, man. But all of it for just money. Come on, bro. You should be able to talk about people in a critiquing way. And I think that's what Colbert did, and he got pulled. And that's not right. So the episode, it starts with Eric, Eric Cartman. He's very just down, because, the stuff that he's used to doing is very normalized now in the world. His right-wing grift or his plots to try to offend people, they don't work no more. A lot of MAGA was praising Eric. Because Eric Cartman is not necessarily a bad person. Eric Cartman is a bad person. He's not necessarily, he doesn't pick any political sides. He just sides with the side that he knows can get him the most attention. That's what Eric's whole character is. It's not about offending people.
It's not about offending people in a politician way. It's not about that. It's just about offending people his way to get attention. So now that he can't really offend people, he is very, sad, because even PC Principle is not even the same, man. PC Principle sides with the, preach God and school and stuff, and Eric is he's just left a mess because he doesn't know what to grift no more. Everything is so outrageous in the world now that like his ideas are, they're accepted, and Eric doesn't like that. And then we introduced the man himself, Donald J. Trump, man. Man, they went all out in this episode, man, with Donald, man. They had him laid up with Satan, man. They had they had a deepfake video. They kept talking about how small his genitalia was. And I think they were just going very, very over the top because they're trying to they're daring Trump to sue. They're trying to get pulled. You feel me? This was the most they've ever done. I think they went harder on him than they ever went on anybody else. And I don't know if this is Trump or this is Saddam Hussein, one of the reoccurring characters in the show, by in disguise as Trump, or is this his own separate character? We really don't know yet. But he had saying like talking points as Saddam, saying all that good stuff. But in the show, Trump is constantly suing people. He's constantly, whatever he doesn't like, he gets it out of there quick. And I think, they're trying to just show that they're trying to dare Trump to sue them, man. Showing in the show, all he does is sue, lie, and be a big kid with a small genitalia. And I think that's they're daring him, man. They're daring him to take action against them, because if they take action against them, then Trump is gonna be taking action against Paramount, and I don't think Paramount wants that. But South Park, by all means, they can have that, because Matt and Trey, they got their money, man. They signed $1 billion deal. So now it's like, what, they put Paramount in a picky sticky situation. It's kind of crazy, but they put them in a situation, man, to where they either choose South Park or they choose their deal, and South Park's their money maker. So you choose the money or you try to make some more. I don't know what they gonna do, man, but it all depends on Trump, man. What is he gonna do? What is he gonna actually sue? Try to get the episode taken off air, because it's not just Trump like in the show. It's a deep fake of Trump also, with small genitalia, running around and naked. So I don't know how much he likes that, but we gonna just have to wait and see.
Yeah, man, it was just a lot of messaging, in the show. They use Jesus to directly say how Paramount and other places have sold out, and if we can't say what we want to say about the president, then it's free speech is not there, And I don't like how people use free speech as to say like, I don't like how people try to use free speech and actually go to like slurs. That's not what free speech is about. Free speech is about being able to say what you want to say about your government and not being prosecuted. People who instantly goes to like, their mind goes that way, they have issues. They have a problem. Like that's very kid, like that's just very immature. I don't like how free speech and like being able to do what you want to do, your mind instantly goes to that. So I don't like that, but they made an ad about Trump trying to, say how great he is, trying to show how great he is, basically showing that, everybody's trying to kiss up to the president and not trying to be honest about the situation. Eric and Butters, they sit in a car trying to use gas or a tube, whatever, to, get out of here, man. Go back to the lobby. And it doesn't work to an electric car. It's an episode about that too, but we ain't gonna get into that. But at the end, Butters and Carmen, Matt and Trey, the two voice actors, they say like, if this is it, it's been a good ride. Basically saying like, if this is the last episode, then hey man, they went out how they wanted to go out, man. And I can respect that, man. Man, this was
this was the South Park episode to be a part of, man. This was a great episode, a great one in a long time, man. You know, like, comment, subscribe. Let's have a conversation in the comments. What do you guys think about the episode? Do you like it or do you not like it? Thanks and have a great day.